What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a really cool little budget optic. This is the Primary Arms SLX 1-power micro prism ACSS G2 Cyclops. Holy shit, that's a long name, but it's a good optic. Before we do that, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. Because of you, we have guns and ammo to shoot on the channel. If you want to support the channel, it's the best way to do it. All you got to do is go down to the link in the description and sign up. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter named Iowa. It's the YSS 2U shelter. Those kids could use your help as well, and I'd really appreciate it if you go down there and give those kids a couple bucks. It's a good deed, and they could use it during this holiday season. I'd appreciate it. Now, the Primary Arms Micro is what I'm going to call it here, to shorten this bad bitch up a little bit, is kind of like a little mini ACOG, to be honest with you. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it. And coincidentally, it actually takes mini ACOG mounts, and it also is a Prism optic, and it does have a lot of things in common, believe it or not, but a few things that it doesn't, I think, are actually an improvement, not necessarily an issue. So as you can see here, it's a very tiny little overall optic with a length of only 2.5 inches and an overall weight of just 7 ounces. Very lightweight. Same weight as about a T2 with a mount combination, so it's very lightweight overall, and it gives you a lot of capabilities that maybe a red dot does not. If you're unfamiliar with Prism optics, they're a little bit different technology. They tend to be more durable overall, just like the ACOG. They also tend to be a little bit more forgiving with certain eye issues like astigmatism and stuff like that. This particular one has the ACSS G2 reticle in it, which not only does give you the circle dot and the old chevron, which is actually a little bit more useful than the dot, but it also gives you a BDC, which is super nice. You don't need magnification to shoot out to a distance that requires BDC. A lot of people say that, but over 200 yards, you're going to need a ballistic drop compensator. If you have a good amount of wind, even at 200 yards or even at 150 yards, sometimes you like a BDC. And I think this gives you just heightened capability over your standard red dot for that reason. I mean, you can engage targets with non-magnification out to 500 yards if you're a skilled shooter, and even further, depending on how large the target is. Obviously, a freaking barn, you'd be able to hit it further. But that being said, it's a very good optic for distance. Well, I like this. Also, because it has that etched reticle in it, even if it does lose power, you still have a black etched reticle, which is really nice. Now, you're not going to be able to lose power that easily because this does have a shake-awake feature, so it's not on all the time. And then even when it is on, it has 29,000 hours of battery life, which is pretty unbelievable for the price tag. That's like aim point battery life. We'll go over some quick specs on this, and then I'll kind of give you an idea of what I think about it overall. The objective lens diameter is 17 millimeters, exit pupil 16.2. The overall field of view is 76.5 at 100 yards, and the wind adjustments are 1 MOA, which is not the most fine adjustment in the world, to be honest with you. So you're gonna have a harder time getting a super precise zero. That's one of the complaints I've seen, and I do agree with that. However, it's not that bad, and overall, you can certainly make that work. Now, one of the things you're gonna lose with a prism scope over something like a red dot, for example, as you can see it's mounted back here a little bit further, is you're going to lose a little bit of eye relief. Now, it's not going to be as big as some other prism optics because this version here, the Gen 2, actually has this adjustable diopter back here, and you can actually sort of adjust where your cheek weld is, and you can actually see through the optic relatively well all the way back there. If I hold this out like a pistol, I can still acquire the reticle and still make a shot if I need to, which is very cool. So you get a lot of the benefits of a prism optic, the durability, the clear glass. I cannot specify that enough. This has a lot clearer glass with no blue tint to it that you will see in a lot of red dots. So if you've ever looked through an ACOG, you kind of know what I'm talking about, but this has even superior glass to that, in my opinion. So you get those pros plus the etch reticle and the BDC, but you don't have to worry too much about the eye relief. Now, it is going to be a little bit bit less ideal when it comes to like barricade shooting or something like that. If you guys have ever shot a VTAC barricade, one of the reasons why a lot of those guys use a red dot and magnifier setup as opposed to like a LPVO, a lower powered variable optic, is because of the eye relief issue and the parallax issue when it comes to shooting in awkward shooting positions. Now, I didn't test that a shit ton with this optic, but I did test it a little bit, and I didn't really have a problem with it. However, opinions may vary, and your experience might be different. If you're going to be doing a lot of that stuff, maybe stick to a red dot. As you can see here, this is the ACSS reticle, and one of the reasons why people in a lot of different optic companies use the ACSS reticle now is because it's just one of the better reticle systems that you can possibly use. It's super simple, super easy to range targets and figure out what distance they're at through the optic, and then use the windage and elevation adjustments to hit that on the first shot. It's so useful, in fact, that Trijicon actually uses them now in their ACOGs as well. These are going to be your windage and elevation turrets here, and as you can see, they are recessed in, and they're able to be easily turned with a bullet. I can't stress enough how much I like that. When you come in with these tiny little adjustments that can't be done with anything but a special tool, get that shit out of here. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in being able to adjust this on the fly if I need to with the stuff I have on me. And if I have a gun, there's a good chance I have a bullet, and if I don't, the gun's not much use anyway. So then you can use that to change your windage and elevation if you need to in the field, which I like a lot. Over here is going to be the Illumination dial here, and it is super bright, especially for the price tag. And that's going to be a theme of this. It's really good, but it's also amazing for the price, as primary arm stuff generally is, which is why primary arm stuff is so popular these days. And you see it all over YouTube, and you see it all over social media, is because they make some pretty decent stuff for a really low price so everybody can get their hands on it. That being said, this is the reticle and the Illumination. I can't really show you this one because I have it mounted on this 4.6 here, and I'm not done testing with that yet, and I don't want to lose my zero, but I can show you on another very similar primary arms optic here, which I have right next to me. And we're going to be doing a review on this one too, if you guys haven't seen it already. So you can see that that's not even on the highest setting, and we're under these lights, and it's still super bright. Can't really make out the reticle very much, but it does have a very similar reticle to this one too. But you can see that at 1 power, that big old donut reticle around that chevron is super easy to use fast. You know, the old ACOG bending aiming concept, I didn't really feel like I had to use here. You can shoot this with both eyes open, no problem, so you don't lose any speed or situational awareness up close. So that's kind of nice, and you get the added capability of the BDC and the clear glass at distance. Overall, for $200 and some dollars, $250, I think, somewhere in there, this thing is actually pretty amazing. I wasn't interested in Prism optics that much until Primary Arms sent me one maybe a year ago or something like that, and it was pretty good, but this one is a big improvement upon that. And I should have mentioned that to begin with. Primary Arms did send me this, but they do only send me stuff that I agree upon. So they basically ask me if I want this or if I want that, and then I'll make a suggestion on what I'd rather have, and this is one of the ones I was the most interested in because I like lightweight optics, and because I really like BDC capabilities, because I don't turn dials. I'll be honest with you, I don't. Even in super precision rifles, stuff like that, I would way rather use a reticle. I'm a Kentucky windage or an Iowa windage type of guy. I've been bucking wind in Iowa now for a good 30 years or so, shooting out in cornfields and stuff like that. And I don't know if you're aware of Iowa, but it is the 5th windiest state because it's super flat. So I'm always shooting in wind. So a BDC is really nice for me personally, especially one that is sophisticated as the ACSS. So for $250, is there a better optic on the market for an overall gun? I mean, you're talking about reliability, durability, good illumination, good reticle, clear glass, really good eye relief for a Prism optic. Damn, I gotta tell you, it's a pretty fantastic optic. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
This is probably a shit show. Have never, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know shit, guys. Alright, I'm gonna go all the way in here like the Outlaw does. I'm gonna get real crazy, see what I can do here.